Hey, what's going on? It's KLA, Cloud the Wanderer, and congratulations to the Knicks. On a
Wow.
yeah, the championship. Yeah, I know it was crazy. But whatever. Life goes on. I'm here with a young lady. Her name is Ya'Lisha Shea Gatewood, and she's here to tell her
Yes.
story, how she got started in competing, and yeah, and other things. How are you, man?
I am good. How are you? It's been a long day for me already. What about you?
Yeah, just I was a bit distracted, but I know I was gonna do this interview, so I try to be prepared as I could be, but I
Yeah,
really
it's
appreciate you.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, it's been a super long weekend for me. We had this event called Artish, Artish, and I've been able to host the event both yesterday and today. Um,
Hmm.
so that was a first. I've never been to Ardish, and then being able to go to Ardish and host an event like that was just so mind-boggling. It was a great event. I hope I get a chance to go back next year. Um, have I got a chance to work out today? No, I have not, but I plan to get back in the gym tomorrow. Um, but yeah, other than that, just making sure I'm focused on the thing at hand. And right now, for me,
You're
that's
kind of breaking in and out. I'm sorry.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I just heard. No, you was breaking out a little bit. I think she froze. Maybe it's some of this chat. Hey, what's up, Balls Deep? How you doing? How you been? Haven't heard from you in a while. I think she needs to come back in and out. That's what it is. Let me see. Come, come, leave and come back out. Leave, leave, and come back out. Yeah. Yeah, just give her a second, folks. Balls Deep, you say the same thing all the time, man. I'll give read the yeah, she's a let me show some of her stuff, guys. Yeah. Okay. Get fuck. Yeah. Hi.
All right. Hey, can you hear me now?
You got headphones? I don't wanna I don't I see hear static going on. I don't know if it's my end, your end.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
It
hear the
start
static on your end for sure.
on my end. All right, hold on. I didn't know. I'll come right back, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I hit. Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. It's still very staticky though.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I can hear you. I don't know why my camera isn't working.
Uh, yeah, I don't know.
For some reason, I don't know why you're not seeing me. My camera's on.
Say that again?
My camera is on. I don't know why you're not seeing me.
Well, leave and come back out. Because
Okay.
it's funny like that.
You can come back out and then come back in.
Yeah,
Okay.
see what
Okay.
happens. I thought she was coming back out. Okay. Yeah, I might as well play some of her stuff, her videos. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me see. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you a bit. Say something. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's a little bit in and out. I don't know. Yeah, so how did you get started in bodybuilding?
I can't hear you.
Now you can't hear me? Oh Jesus.
Yes,
Let me see
it's silent.
something. I'll come back out. I'll come back out. Let me see something. I don't know why she can't hear me. Can anybody hear me? I'll play some of her videos.
It's big win, not for me, but for you. To every athlete that's going into the Optimum Classic this weekend, amateur or pro, look, I know you're tired. I know you're hungry. Your brain is everywhere. You have prep brain right now. You didn't go through the months of prep to just stop and give up. This is it. This is where athletes are built. This is where athletes are made. This is how you get the trophy. This is when you get the trophy. You're doing this for the trophy and for yourself. Look, remember to trust your coach, trust the plan, and trust that whenever you step on the stage this weekend, you're not just showing off your muscle. You're showing the discipline that it took to get up there, to get on stage. And you're showing the heart that you have and the love that you have for this sport. And to everyone that's going to be watching the athletes this weekend, listen close. Respect what you see on that stage because it takes heart, it takes sacrifice, and it takes focus to get up there and show off all the muscles. Let me drink some water since y'all can't. So I'll be cheering you guys on this weekend. Good luck. Remember, health as well.
All right,
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's still a little bit static, but I'm pretty sure I can figure out what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you.
For sure, for sure. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. So, Oh, this is what's going on up in here? Do you got a storm going on? Is there a storm like where you at, Tennessee?
Say that one more time.
No, I'm saying like, is there a weather problem or something like that
I'm sorry. One more
with
time.
the
One more
internet?
time.
The internet. Like, is your
Oh
internet
yeah.
fine? That's, I don't know if this is my end. Like, what's going on? Yeah. Oh man. Let me see. No, she still froze. Is there something on my end? Like, yo, anybody can hear me? Uh, we was fine when before we came live. It just I don't know what happened. So yeah. We good now? You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry about this predicament. Yeah, like so you're a bikini competitor?
Yes, I am a bikini competitor. My journey. I started my journey in 2019. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now perfectly.
Oh yeah, I can hear you now too. Great.
I
But
don't
can
know
you see
what
my
was
picture?
going
Oh,
on.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, okay. So let me get to it. I started my bikini journey in 2019. I graduated college in 2018, and I was always interested in working out. I started my fitness journey actually in 2014. After my freshman year in college, I started college in 2013, and I wanted to build the body type that I've always had. Right, I was a super skinny girl, a stick figure type of girl, and my mom always told me. She said, when you go to college, you can go to college and totally reinvent the wheel, reinvent yourself, right? And so that's what I wanted to do. Um, so in college, I was in band, so we did a lot of workouts, especially in band. Our band was known for a lot of workouts and everything like that.
I can hear you a
And
little
towards
bit,
my
but not as
senior,
much.
uh,
Uh, I can hear you, but not a lot. There's things, yeah. Like what did you do the before? Like when we heard each other perfectly.
I didn't do anything different. I didn't do anything different.
I don't know. You want to go closer to the screen? I don't.
Thing like this.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's. Yeah, say something now.
I mean, I can hear you. I mean, I can hear
Okay.
you and everything.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Now you were saying
Let's see where did I leave
you
off.
was in college and you was working out and your mother told you about something.
Yeah. So starting my fitness journey. Is that when we get back on that topic?
Say that again.
Can we talk back on that? How I got into my fitness journey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So just reiterating a little bit about what I my fitness team and my bodybuilding in 2019, but my actual fitness journey started in 2014 when I wanted to change my body. My body. I just got to college maybe a year ago. Everybody's body did not look like mine. Mine was very skinny and short, and I wanted to change my body composition, and the only way to change that was through working out. So with working out, I just continued that through college. Like my in college, everybody knew me as the fitness drummer girl, I guess you can say,
Mm-hmm.
because I was always either working out or in drums or something like that. And so after 2014 through 2019, sometimes I would hold my band, or if you're watching this, I would skip practice sometimes to go to the gym and do aerobics or work out or train somebody. And then once I graduated from college, I really realized that fitness is something that I wanted to do and take seriously.
Right.
And so, yeah, 2019, the year I stepped on stage at the Optimum Classic here in Shreveport. Owner Robert Superman Blunt, who is also my coach. Robert Superman Blunt trained 8-time Olympian Lee Haney, and so I'm really happy and proud that he is my coach. I love him to death. In 2019, I won 5 awards. But of course, once you step on stage, you do novice, true novice, Class A, open Class A. You do all the awards on your first show. But after that, I just kept competing. I'm not a pro yet, but I do plan on being one at some point in time.
Yeah.
I finally won the overall in 2024, the NPC version of the NPC of the. So after that, we took that to Atlanta to see what my body was going to look like in Atlanta, and we placed third in Atlanta. And my coach told me it was, something that, we have to look into, and, don't be upset we got third out of 3, but think of it as a working, a work in progress. So the year 2025 came, and we decided to go into wellness because we felt like, excuse me, felt like my glutes were growing at a much faster rate, so maybe it was time to switch me to a different category. Well, once I got into wellness, we quickly realized that wellness was not for me. I am indeed a bikini girl, so I'm taking this year off right now to bulk and turn this fat into muscle. This is the biggest I've ever been. Believe it or not, I'm not even really all that big, but um, trying to take this year off to turn the muscle into fat and hopefully get back on stage in 2027.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard some of it. Yeah. I know you said that you're not a pro. You started. You started like what 2014?
Yeah, I started working out in 2014, but I
Oh,
started
you
my
started working out.
bodybuilding
Okay, I got
career.
All right. Yeah, hold on for a second. Just give me a second, because I'm
Okay.
trying to see if I could put like these headphones on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Say something now.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5.
What was it like being on stage? Like in your first competition. Hello?
What the off season like? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay.
What was it?
Did you say what is the off season like?
Yeah, like when you started like competing, like how was like your first show competing?
Oh, my first show was really good. I was competing with, I had a boyfriend at the time, and we were both competing in the shows together. So we were bodybuilding together. So it made the first show, stepping on stage and stepping into that lifestyle pretty easy. Um, and yeah, after that, we competed again in a couple other shows like the Ronnie Coleman Classic in Dallas, and things of that nature. Um, so now, a couple years into bodybuilding, right? Still have, I have about over a dozen awards under my belt, but the goal is definitely to keep on going. This off season is a little bit different than that first off season. I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. But I know what's working for me and what's working, what hasn't been working. I know what foods make my muscles grow and what foods don't make my muscles grow. You know what I mean? And so it has been a joy to be off season. I'm not going to lie. I enjoy the off season, being able to eat anything and everything that I want to eat, because I don't have to be on a strict diet. I don't gain weight as fast as many people. I hold stage weight naturally throughout the year, which my coach says is a gift from God. So I just try to maintain, I don't eat too crazy. I have a stepdad that makes amazing food, and he loves to cook. So a lot of times I'll get my meals from him. I try not to eat out as much, and eat a lot of whole food. So it's not as bad as off season as many people would think. I'm not going to McDonald's or Burger King and all that type of thing all the time. I'm eating whole foods, potatoes, chicken, spaghetti, steak, um, seafood even. Um, so I think the most important information
Yeah, where the food go?
not just going crazy.
When you, yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I forgot what I was about to say. It's the sound throwing me off and stuff like that. Um, yeah. So like you compete like NPC?
I do compete in NPC. Yeah, I
Oh,
still
okay.
compete in. Yeah, I still compete in NPC.
Oh,
Um, just taking the year off though. I do eventually want to go pro. Um, but I think about how far can you really get in this sport. Um, how far can this sport really take you and take your career? I know once you become a pro, a lot of pros are on drugs. You know what I mean? Like on the stuff.
yeah,
I don't think that that's something that I want to do to my body. I definitely want to remain natural. Um, if that means that I wouldn't compete in the IFBB sector, then so be it. I don't feel like I want to tear my body apart um, for the sport. But I do love the competition. I do love the rivalry, and I do love show day. What I don't like about bodybuilding is peak week, or let me say 2 weeks out to 1 week out from the show, where your body is just, I mean, going through the hormones like crazy. You can barely drink water. You can only eat what your diet is allowing you to eat. Your mindset is a little foggy, because nobody's going through the same thing that you're going through. Other than that, I actually like the structure of bodybuilding. Um, it's
yeah,
something that will always sit with me, something that will always resonate with me, and something that will keep me active for a really long time. So I commend that, and I love the sport. Not sure how far I want to take it. Um, yeah, it's just something to think about.
yeah. Yeah. That's a tough discipline. Being bodybuilder, like, do you have like friends or like family members? Do they understand like your goals as a bodybuilder? Yeah, how do
Yeah,
they respond to that?
yeah. When I first started bodybuilding, it was a little crazy. So around the holidays, and I would be on prep. my family wouldn't understand why I couldn't have a cheat meal on Thanksgiving Day because I'm on prep. They couldn't understand why I'm eating a salad versus dressing and turkey and ham and mac and cheese. Um, but that's okay because they didn't understand the journey in the beginning. But now, you know, my family really understands that fitness is something that's important to me, especially when it comes to peak week. And they always like make me feel included, you know, like when it comes to my family, they're like, okay, we know you can't eat this, but can you eat this? You know, I still always feel included. Or, you know, when I'm with my friends, I always still feel included. Do I have a lot of friends that are in this sport? No, I do not have a lot of friends in this sport, but we do know that this sport can be a lonely sport because you're on a team by yourself. You know, you're competing against yourself and other people. Um, but as far as um, meals and everything like that, uh, my family does make me feel included. If I'm on prep, they know that they can't tease me with good foods and everything like that. So they respect the journey. They've even swapped out, changed a few things here and there. I really influenced my dad to really get in the gym and work out. So he works out consistently.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's I know it's not very easy sport to for the average person to digest a bit. That's good that your your family and your friends understand where you're at. You know, and yeah, you said so you're on your off season and you're not as like stressful as you are like in your peak. You're in your peak week.
Right.
That
Yeah.
that's
So
what you.
like,
Yeah,
yeah. So like, my off season is not as stressful at all. You know, I
yeah,
realize comfort food is my comfort, you know. So if I feel myself a little stressed, you know, I give me something that I like to eat, but that's on the healthy side. Like my mom one day introduced me to the sweet potato with ground turkey or ground beef on it. And I'm so in the
yeah,
South, I'm used to eating what my grandma calls candy yams. They're super, super sweet candy yams. I'm, you know, dicing up, putting all the sugar on it. That's what I'm used to. So when my mom introduced me to this recipe with the sweet potato and you know the steak on top or ground turkey beef on top, I kind of looked at it kind of crazy, but I tried it anyway. When I tell you, I made it in there for myself. I make some for her, um, and we just go tit for tat with these, you know, different health recipes. So it's cool that you get to influence people that you love to be on a health journey as well, because it eventually will work out for them once they get older. You know what I mean? They'll already be health conscious. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, the fact that I get to influence my parents, you know, is really opening to me because, you know, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know, I have parents. I tell everybody that I have really, really cool parents. I really lucked out with some really, really good supportive parents on everything that I do. My parents always support me. Now, the bad decisions, they don't always support those, but they always support me and love me through anything that I'm doing, whether that's bodybuilding, reporting, eating healthy, or wanting to eat a cheat meal today, or wanting to get outside. You know, they're never like questioning why I want to be healthy, you know, why I want to be active, you know. So a lot of times they'll jump on the bandwagon. So that's really always appreciated. I guess I would say it really just solidifies the support that I have. You know, in this sport, you really got to have a lot of support. Lately, I've had a lot of support with my mom and my dad. But a lot of people will have that support from their significant others, you know, when they're
mm,
out there competing, you know, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. You know, I'm doing this solo. I didn't start solo, but I'm doing it solo now. And what I will say, it is rewarding to do it solo because it's something that I keep between me and God. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
that's a partner that will never leave my side. So um, it's different. It has its ups and downs for sure.
You don't have like a boyfriend that supports you or anything like that?
No, I do not. I am single like a last chip in the bottom of the chip bag.
No.
It's
Is it
okay
is
though,
it single?
because
When you say single, is it because you don't want any company, or you just it's too much of a distraction, or is it hard out there for you, or I don't know.
I wouldn't say that it's hard for me. I'm very selective on who I like to enter into my space. You know, it, it's someone that has to be like-minded. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I wouldn't have to stay on the exact same fitness journey, but you got to be physically fit. And I don't mean that just your body type, but you got to want to consistently go to the gym. If it's somebody that doesn't consistently want to go to the gym, I'm not going to be super interested. And then, outside of work, I'm always super focused. I mean, outside of fitness, I'm always super focused on work. Um,
Mm.
and things that I do outside of work, like acting outside of work. I play the drums occasionally just to keep up my skill outside of work. I host events outside of work, and I just try to keep myself busy. There's a movie that just came out on Netflix called Ruth and Boaz, and in this season of bodybuilding solo, it's for me, it's a journey with God, like I said, because it's we can't be separated. So I don't ever feel like I'm super lonely. Do I have moments where I feel lonely? Yes, I do. But I have these tattoos that always remind me that I'm not lonely. So I have this tattoo right here, of course, for God, but I have this 1140 tattoo. This 1140 tattoo is a special address.
Forgive
I'm not
me
gonna
if
say
I
this
can't see
exact
you.
address.
I'm
Yeah.
hearing you,
This,
but I can't see you.
oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I just can't see you.
Oh, can you see me? I don't know why. Can you see me now? No, I didn't click anything different.
I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. This,
Yeah. Can you see me now?
nah, I can't see you. I don't know if it's my end or your end. I don't know what's going on, but
I can I can see you
yeah.
and I can see.
Nah, but
How
just
about
keep
now?
talking. Nah, I can't see you, but just keep talking.
Yeah.
Maybe the audience see you. I don't know, but
Okay.
just
Okay.
keep talking. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so like I was mentioning, my tattoos that I have on my wrists. I have one that has a cross on it, and the other one has the number 1140. And whenever I find myself like uh feeling lonely or feeling alone, I just kind of like grab onto my wrists, you know what I mean? And it lets me know that I have God with me and I have my family with me. No matter like, what I do, no matter what endeavors and everything like that. The 1140 is an address that means a lot to me and my family. Um, it means like it's the place, it's the address of a place that where we learn, character, integrity, love, support, morals and values. Um, and that just stayed with my cousins and I. So my cousins and I have the same 1140 tattoo because that same location, which is my grandparents' house, meant a lot. Their morals and values and their teachings mean a lot to us. It makes us the people who we are. It has given me character. It has given me integrity. It has given me street smarts and book smarts. Um, it has given me discipline and loving. So it's something that I carry with me wherever I go. I don't ever have to second guess it with 1140, but also with God, I don't ever have to second guess him either because he's always with me as well. So it makes this sport a little bit easier to bear when I know that I got God and my family always, watching over me.
Yeah. I mean, I asked you with the relationship thing because, I've learned that, a lot of bodybuilders, they're by themselves, or, if they're with somebody, if they're in a relationship, they're, it them being a bodybuilder, it kind of interferes with their relationship. The part like
Yeah.
the spouse may not like it, or You know, I mean, they got some that do support the support them, but you
True.
know, I feel time to time, you know, whether they're married or not married, they're probably with somebody, and that always kind of it's always interfered or mostly nearly interfered with it. So you know, that's why I asked that question, because it's you know it's a
Yeah,
different type of stuff. Go ahead.
I
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't say that it. No, you're fine. I wouldn't say that it would interfere. I guess I would have to say it has to be the right person because I
Mhm.
love my schedule. You know, I love the time that I put into the things that make me happy, which is, you know, things away from, you know, my job or, you know, sometimes days on the job. But it just has to fit, you know, it has to fit and make sense. And I have to want to make time for that person. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, over the years, have I made time for certain people? Yes, I have. But that right person has to fit and it has to be, you know, God ordained. You know, I've gone down the wrong road a couple times, you know what I'm saying, with the wrong person, but you know, it's just a learning lesson. You know what I'm saying? We're all still very young. I'm still very young in the sport, and in life, still learning new things and, you know, strengthening my follow with God and strengthening my walk with God. Um, so it just has to work with him. And if it doesn't work, then he'll let me know for sure. Um,
Yeah,
but it just has to work for me. I don't
yeah, I
want it to feel
understand.
like an inconvenience. If it
You
feels
know,
like an
there's
inconvenience,
no, go
yeah,
ahead.
if it feels
I'm
like an
sorry.
inconvenience, I have to separate myself. It feels like an inconvenience for me. Um, Not for that person, but for me. It has to work for me. If I don't feel at ease, if I don't feel comfortable, if I can't be 100% myself, then that relationship will not work.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So yeah. I mean, it's good to have faith. Yeah, I could get with that. And you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So how long you been like how many shows you did? I'm sorry for if I didn't get everything, but I just want to be clear on that. Like so
Good.
far.
I don't, to be honest, I don't even remember how many shows I've been in.
Okay.
I say maybe around 10 or beneath 10, something like that. But I do have over a dozen awards, which is really cool to see. I do hate that they discontinued the swords in bodybuilding
Mm,
because of the travel. You can't travel with the swords. It always made it pretty difficult to travel with the swords. So I do hate that part of becoming a pro, but um, the the other awards are just as nice. You know what I mean? So um, yeah, you know, sorry, there's a couple
mm,
bugs around me.
yeah. When would you go to the national? Or you got to do another
So my,
show?
I think that next year we're gonna try to go for the gold. You know what I mean? We're gonna try to do the optimum, do multiple shows, and really just uh zone in on my physique. We know that wellness is not for me. We know that I needed time to take off and build some muscle fat because it's hard for me to gain weight because I maintain the same weight year round. I could be my stage weight year round, which is a good thing and a bad thing, you know, too. But it's been mostly a good thing because I don't have to focus too crazy on what I'm eating. You know, I don't have to be crazy looking at the scale. You know, I don't have to go crazy counting calories. I don't have to go crazy with, you know, the sculpting of my body. The muscle memory is there. You know, everything is there. It's just maintaining and have a really good physique to, you know, to maintain. So it's not hard to change these things. It's just we needed that little bit of muscle uh, to, to, to to really get to that next level. It's funny you say that, Elisa. Bikini, who just won the Optimum Classic a couple weeks ago, and won the show in Washington last week. She won the Olympia in 2019 when I first started um, bodybuilding, and I
Who's
got a
this?
chance to meet her. Her name is Elisa Puccini. She won the Olympia in 2019 when I first started bodybuilding, and
She's a bikini. She's bikini Olympian.
yeah, she's a bikini Olympian, and she competed in the show 2 weeks ago. I got a chance to
Mm-hmm.
interview her for NBC Online, and
Okay.
she took a year off. And look at her now. She won the Optimum 2 weeks ago. She just won the Washington last week. You know, she's gaining momentum. She said she took that time off to really focus on her mindset
Yeah.
before getting back on stage. And, you know, if there is anything that I can preach, it is, you know, your mindset is super, super, super important. A book that I've been reading in my off season is the Let Them Theory. When you read that book, it'll take a lot of stress off your shoulders, you know, and let whatever happens happens. You can't control everything. You know, a lot of times I want to always be in control of everything, you know. But after reading that book and strengthening my walk with God, I've let a lot of things go that I can't control, you know, and it's worked
Yeah.
wonders on my mindset and just my daily mentality overall, you know. So I would say that's been the best part of off season.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting that you you just mentioned that yeah, you know, a lot of people, they feel like they have control over their life, and you know, that may not be the case. You know,
Yeah.
we just assume that we can do whatever we want, you know, but
Yeah.
there's consequences to that. So yeah,
Well,
I
the thing,
understand that.
you know, those consequences show on stage. They may not show immediately, but they will show on stage. That's the other thing about bodybuilding. What you put
Mhm.
on stage is what you worked on, you know. No one else can you can't blame it on anyone else but yourself, you know. So if you work in
I
you
wasn't
know,
just talking about bodybuilding, but you know, I did, but that's cool. That's cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, you know, you're on a team of yourself, so you can't you can't be
Yeah.
upset with anyone but yourself. You know what I mean? So you have to naturally have the discipline. You have to naturally be focused. Now, is every day, are we going to be focused every single day? Absolutely not. We're human. You know, you're not going
Right.
to be focused on every day. You're going to want some ice cream at 12 midnight, you know, but you know what you have to do in order to keep that physique. Have I dipped into the ice cream pint at times I wasn't supposed to? Absolutely. I love sweets. But when I'm really focused, it's really hard to shake my focus, you know. So it's really, you're all on a team of, you know, of yourself, and you know, just really got to stay focused. And I know that's super hard to say and do, um, but for me, I care my fitness more. I, my fitness journey with God. And if I'm gonna be consistent with God, I'm gonna be consistent with myself.
Hello? I can't I I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Hey, can you hear
Hello?
me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you
can you hear me?
now. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
what I was saying was, you know, we're all on a team by ourselves. You know, you can't be upset with how you look on stage if you know you didn't put in the work to get you, you know, to where you're trying to go, your goal, right? So if
Yeah.
you get on stage and you're not all the way conditioned the way you want to be, you know, you have no one to blame but yourself. You know, you can't blame your coach, you can't blame your nutritionist, you have to blame yourself, you know, because we're all on a team on our own. But like for me, you know, I like to pair my fitness journey with God, because if I'm going to be consistent with God and give him that discipline, it's going to make me want to be consistent with myself. You know, it's going to give me that same
Yeah.
discipline. So um for me, it's a solo journey with God, you know, just trying to strengthen my relationship with him, and you know, influence those around me to you know, either do the same or, you know, strengthen their relationship with God. You know, I had a friend, or I mean, there's still a friend um who um started following God a lot more. and it influenced me to follow God a little bit more. You know what I mean? So when you surround yourself with, the right people, um, in the right way, they start to influence you in the right way. So I'm always thankful for my friends who always, are on, and I wouldn't even say on the right path, because everybody's path is a little murky, right? Nobody's path is perfect, but who takes the strides to be a better person, to be a better follower of God, to strengthen the people around him. So, thankful to have really good friends in my life, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Like how long you been going to church? Like you been to like you followed Christ all your life or
Yeah, so I grew up right down the street from the church. I used to walk to church every Sunday. It's Mount Perrin Missionary Baptist Church on Cooper Road, Shreveport, Louisiana. Pastor Everett Hall. Uh, I could open my front door and see the church right there. That's how short the walk was. And a lot of times, my mom will get I have a younger brother. My mom would get us ready for church. We open the front door and we see the church right there. My grandpa will be waiting for us at the front door. We sang in the choir. We gave our Easter speeches. We got baptized there. And church has always been something that's been instilled in me. Now, once I got to college, was it always there? No, we were in college. We were doing college things. You know what I'm saying? But when you
yeah,
have a family, like I said, about my, wrist tattoo, when you have a family that is, rooted in God, and it's always praying for you and gives you good morals and values and teaching and love and, things of that nature, you find your way back to God, once you get older, once it's instilled in you, you always tend to find your way back. And so after college, um, sorry, there's like a bug near me, huge bug. So after college, once I got back settled, at home, post college, after graduation, and after being a couple years um, in my field, um, I just wanted to strengthen my walk with God, but also I was surrounded by the right friends. My best friend is a strong follower of God. And like I said, my other friend is a strong follower of God, but has focused more on following God. And with him doing that, it just influenced me. Not saying that God is a trend. God is not a trend. It's not something that's a trend, like a social media trend, like an outfit or something that's trending. It's not a thing like that. You have to feel it. You have to want to walk in it, because it really makes you a better person through and through. So um, I'm just thankful for the friends that I have and the family members that I have and the praying parents that I have, because it makes me who I am today.
yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Can't go against that. Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you something. Like since you from the South, like would you think it's hard for somebody in the South to like lose weight or like knowing that it's like a rich culture of food like macaroni and cheese, fried chicken, and all that type of stuff, like to stay healthy.
Um, I will say, living in Louisiana, we have the absolute best food. So is it hard to want to eat healthy? Absolutely. We have, like you said, chicken. We have this place called Bojack's out here that has crawfish mac and cheese. One of my
Yeah,
favorites. We also have a restaurant out here named Orlando's, and it's real southern. I mean, soul food. So good. But also just coming from a family that makes soul food. Is it hard to break away from? Absolutely, sometimes. But growing up with it, you eat it so much. You know, um, well, I ate it so much, and I really just wanted to change my body composition. I wanted to. Someone told me, when you eat healthy and you drink a lot of water and all of this and that, it changes your skin tone. It changes your complexion a little bit. It's a lot clearer, and that's what I wanted. I was going through the puberty phase with acne bumps and drinking lots of soda, especially in high school. But when I got to college, I was like, they had different options. They had a salad bar, they had a fruit bar, they had different options I can pick and choose from. So I was able to pick and choose those different options daily. And so I just developed that habit. But like you said, is it hard sometimes? Yes, especially like I mentioned on Thanksgiving, some of those years when I couldn't eat the Thanksgiving food, I had to eat my prep food. That had to be the hardest. But I did learn something about my body type though. I have the body type or metabolism where I can eat those type of foods. It does nothing but help my body because I need those calories. I need those fats. If I was a week out from a bodybuilding show or maybe a month out, then I would slow it up. But I don't have to go, you know, super heavy on the super strict diet because I naturally have the same physique yearly, daily. Um, so is it hard? Yes. But the reward is also good too because once you get done with that show, we got Southern Classic, you got Southern Made, you which is a Southern Classic is a chicken spot that we love down here in the South. And then you got Southern Made Donuts, which is the best donuts you'll ever have in life. Um, so
Mm.
having those two treats after you compete in the show is really sweet. It's really sweet spot.
That's tempting. That sounds tempting. Yeah, I'm in the NYC, so we get all type of junk food.
Oh man, I
But I
already
mean,
know. And I know y'all gone
huh?
crazy after this NBA game, though. Y'all totally painted the town blue and orange, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't. I'm gonna tell you like this. I wasn't in that environment. If I'd have seen that, I'm not always crazy about crowds of people and stuff. If I was there, I wouldn't have been there that long to even want to see that. Shout out to the people that they had the Spurs jersey and stuff. I mean that was ruthless. I'm not gonna lie. To be frankly, the Spurs they had it, but they kind of lost it every time. Like couple of games, they had the advantage, but for some reason they was making some shots like off shots and turnovers, and the Knicks too. But I don't know. I think that was a miracle for them or something like that. But it is what
See,
it is.
I'm a basketball fan. I grew up. My dad's a basketball referee. My grandpa played basketball. My brother played basketball. We're a basketball type of family. So for me, don't get me wrong. I'm happy that the Knicks won, right? Because they
Yeah.
haven't won a championship since the 70s, right? So we always want the underdog to win. We always want to go for the underdog. But when it comes to the Spurs, I mean, I feel like Wemby needs a structured plan, off-season plan for his body type. Because he's still learning his body type. He's still learning his height in the NBA. There was tons of turnovers with the Spurs. And I know that Wemby is still young. He's 22 in the NBA. But
Mm.
Cooper Flag, who's 18 in the NBA and was an MVP. He can run laps around Wemby, and he's 18, which means Wemby is still learning himself. So we can't fault him at a 22-year-old to have so much pressure on himself to win
Yeah, I
the championship.
understand.
It was a
Yeah,
lot.
I
There's a lot.
agree.
Yeah, it's a lot on him. It's a lot riding on him. And he's still, when you're 22, I didn't really know who I was at 22, and you gave me that much money and I'm in the NBA, I might be a
Yeah.
little airheaded, might be a little airheaded. But, even, in his campaigns, it was showing, he has good morals and values, he has good, Catholic morals and values and upbringing, you know what I mean? So that's always good
Mhm.
to see in especially African American basketball player when you get to that height, not even height physically, but that high in the NBA, you know what I'm saying, all the way up to the championships, sometimes it's hard to remain humble, you know. Um, but again, for me, I really just was going for who my money was on, and I definitely was going to put some money on the Spurs yesterday because I was like, no, we have to go to game 7. The NBA always goes to game 7.
Yeah.
So did I have Knicks in game 5? Absolutely not. That was not on the playing card to have the Knicks in game 5. I was just sure that we were going to go to game 7 because if you don't go to game 7, the NBA is going to lose out on some money, and I don't think that's something that they want to do. But hey, you couldn't have told me yesterday that the Knicks were gonna have in Game 5. I was shocked. I mean, watching I was just as shocked as everybody else. I'm looking at the TV. I'm looking around at the bar like, hey, are y'all seeing this? What can someone
Yeah,
explain? I think it'd be really cool if I had the chance to do basketball be a basketball reporter or commentator, because I love the sport and I feel like I know it enough to argue it.
mm,
Um, so if I ever had the chance to do that, I think that'd be really cool. But I mean, the Spurs, they got as far as they did. I'm happy for them. I just think that Wemby needs a structured off-season plan so we don't make those same mistakes going into the next season. Because he's super
yeah,
tall. We want that height advantage. That's that height. We want to use that. But you're this close to the goal, Wemby, but you're all the way back here getting these rebounds. We need you under the goal. Why are you not under the goal? And then when you're bouncing the basketball and everything, like you way up here with it naturally because that's your height. But it's easy for the regular player to steal the ball. It's easy for them to steal the ball. I think that Wemby needs a structured off-season NBA basketball plan so that way they can come back and dominate next season.
yeah. I mean, I just started following him. I just, because always wasn't following basketball like that. But then I started seeing like the Knicks, make, reach into the conference and about to head to the finals. I said, why not? Let me check them out. And that's when I started noticing Wembanyama. Yeah, he's from
Yeah.
France, but like his mother is a coach. And from what I know, I think his father, I don't know what his father do, but I know his mother was a basketball coach. But I understand.
Yeah, I don't know much about Wemby, but I definitely will read up more about him in this
Yeah,
off season. I paid more attention to him, this season while he was getting close to the championships. I'm like, oh, this 7 foot whatever guy is in the NBA and they're going to the championship. Well, let me watch this. I love sports.
yeah,
Let me watch.
yeah. That's cool. So what kind of you do like forecast weather in the news as a reporter?
Yeah, so I report a little bit of everything. I report breaking news. I
Okay.
report um, investigative reported stories. I do, fun stories, a little bit of everything. Mostly like what we call day turns. You get the information, you turn the story that day. There are some projects that I get a chance to work on. It may take a day or two.
Yeah,
I report on everything. But if I had a choice, I would definitely want to dip into sports because it's a lot more fun. It's a lot more engaging. I think the only challenge though would be to remember the names of each player, because those names can get real murky, but
yeah,
I think I like sports enough to want to report on it every day. Um, I am breaking away from wanting to do the breaking news and like the shootings and all that type of thing because it can get really sad. And sports, I don't want to say sports is always happy. There is sad news in sports, but sports is just a lot more fun to cover.
yeah. Like, how do you feel like bodybuilding? People don't like the media don't cover bodybuilding.
I think that the media should cover bodybuilding more often. These athletes have stories to tell. They're not just athletes on the stage. They have lives, their fathers, their mothers, their cousins, their aunts, their sisters. They do a lot of things outside of bodybuilding. And I think that if we took the time to invest into those athletes the same way we invest into other athletes like football and everything now, getting more into the WNBA now, getting more eyes on them. I think that bodybuilding should get that type of recognition as well. And I say that because they just had the advanced athlete games or something like that, where athletes were juiced up or something like that on steroids. They just had those games, advanced games or something like that. And so we're giving those athletes that are doing the same thing as bodybuilding TV time, media profiles, profiles of each person, you know what I'm saying, investing in their lives and seeing what they do on a daily basis, or really just getting to know those people. I think it's just as important to do that in bodybuilding. These people have a story to tell too, and some of them is you won't even believe it. You won't even believe how they made it to stage that day. They could have been going through something terrible. There's some athletes that you'll hear stories about, their family member passed, but they still got out there and played that game, and it was a flawless game. I think that there are important stories to tell on the bodybuilding stage, and I feel like it doesn't get enough media presence. So I was really honored to be able to kind of, I don't even want to say bridge that gap. I'll just say had the opportunity to have a glimpse of that. I got a chance to do the NPC interviews for NPC online 2 weeks ago. So to be able to be that up close and personal with the athletes and talk about their lives outside of the stage and how they got to it, it really is motivating. It really is motivating. So yes, I think that there should be more eyes on bodybuilding for sure. And
That's
I think that
pretty
those
cool.
eyes, I think they should let me be the voice of those eyes. I think they should let me be the voice, the reporter of bodybuilding, fly me out to show here, show there, doing my research on the athletes, doing athlete profiles. I think that is something that I would absolutely love.
Yeah. Believe it or not, they did that, years ago. Like this was like 80s, 90s and stuff. They would interview there was this program, it was called American Muscle. A fellow YouTuber of mine, he's gonna talk about the discussion, but in the 80s and 90s, there was this program called American Muscle Magazine, and where they would interview male bodybuilders and also women bodybuilders that was competing in the Olympia and stuff. And so, somewhere down the line, that the bodybuilding and media, you didn't really hear too much of that. So, so that's, it's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. At the same time, I think because, bodybuilding, it has this stigma, there's elements of it, with steroid usage, and, if it ain't steroid usage, it's sessions, and, and then this other thing where, people kind of look at, especially women bodybuilders, they look like a man at times. It depends on, the competitors and stuff. So, that's what it.
You're right about that, but everybody is different, nobody is the same. And, every person that has made it and made, how can I say, God gave them breath in this world, because when someone is born and an egg is fertilized, it takes millions and millions of sperm to hit that egg and to become a human being, so each person was chosen to be here. It's not a mistake that anyone is here on earth, right, and have breath in their lungs. I think that, it's important to tell the stories of those super fit women's physique or women's figure. You know what I mean? I think it's super important because they have a story to tell. I don't think that it's fair, that people want to judge them. It may not be for you, but that's what they wanted to do. So they're here on this earth. Let's give them the platform to speak, to talk about their journey. They're just as important as the classic physique that just won. They're just female, but it makes them even more powerful because they can still do all of that and create a family, and make a house a home. Women are very, very powerful, and I like that the world is finally starting to see that women can be athletes and be moms and be caregivers and grandmas and aunties all in one, and even be the breadwinners of the home, and it's not just the male, so I think that they deserve a platform to speak as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a shame that we going went through this interference. I mean, it's a good interview, good talking with you. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, like what is like your. Did you talk about the what I was about to say? Your next show, what your next show is gonna be, or you're not sure?
I definitely am gonna maybe do a show before the Optimum Classic next year, but definitely the Optimum Classic is definitely gonna be either the first or second on my tour of shows for next year for sure. Speaking with my coach Robert Superman Blunt, we're just gonna try to do what we can and what we can, get our hands on. The goal this year, like I said, was to bulk, and I think that I am achieving that. Funny story, I'll share with you. I was hosting an event yesterday called Art-ish. I was the host of Art-ish yesterday, and put my dress on, the dress that I wore for my 28th birthday. And it fit perfectly, right? Dress fit perfectly. I put the dress on yesterday. It was a little bit hard to zip up. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm gaining a little weight. Midway between the show, my dress ripped on the side of my hip. And my full hip was almost exposed. But thank God that there are seamstresses at this fashion show slash art show or whatever. It was a seamstress in the back. She saw it. She got me two safety pins and safety pins pinned it together for me to get on stage. But once I got off stage, I mean, she completely sewed it together and it looked like a brand new dress. I say all that to say the bulking phase of my bodybuilding journey is working because I've never in my life bust out the seams of clothes. I'm already a 00. I've never bust out the seams of clothes. So when I saw that yesterday, I was like, all right, I guess it's this off season is working in my favor. So I honestly can't even complain because the dress that was ripped got some new life to it. So once I slim back down, I'm back in it again. But yeah, coming 2027, we're definitely gonna step back on stage. Watching the Optimum Classic, I did miss it, but I just don't miss Pee Wee. I like to eat. I got comfortable with a girl being like, with a girl liking to eat. I love to eat. Don't like to miss a meal. So the fact that I haven't missed one is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Can I ask a silly question? You're natural, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I just wanna just understand. That's all. Yeah.
Yes, I am completely natural, 100%. God-given Southern talent. Yeah. Southern body type.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people I noticed that some people they don't always want to talk about, they personal thing with steroid usage or whatever. So, but yeah.
Well, the thing
Yeah,
about
that's
it,
good.
it's important to me. It's important to me because I don't have kids yet. And I want to have, a healthy blood, healthy organs, and everything like that. For when I, do decide to have some kids, I definitely want to eventually give my mom some grandkids. She's always asking about when she's gonna get some grandkids. So I
Yeah, you're
definitely want to
28,
fulfill that wish. 31.
31. Oh, okay. All right,
Yeah,
31. All right.
big 31. So eventually I want to give her, some grandkids. Eventually I do want kids of my own, but when I bring that seed into the world, I want them to be healthy, human beings. I don't want to do anything that's going to contribute to them, being deformed in any way if I could help it. My mom, when she had me, she took all the necessary steps it took to make sure that I was I guess I get I'm a little emotional saying this, but she took, all the necessary things that she needed to do that she didn't like to make sure that I was healthy. You know, I was born premature 2 months before my actual birth date. I was a NICU baby. I was in NICU for a while, and it was the hardest pregnancy that my mom like went through. So it's just like when I do have kids, I want to give them that same first home, right? Which is in my stomach. You know, I want to give them that first healthy home. I don't want to take anything that's going to contribute, you know, to that. I want healthy, strong, you know, kids. And you know, you never know what you're going to get, but I want to do everything I can in my power to give, you know, me and my significant other, you know, some healthy kids.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, well, best of luck to you. I mean, best wishes
Yeah.
to you. Yeah, yeah. How
One
far
day,
do you see
not
yourself
today.
competing? How far do you how far do you see yourself competing in the sport?
Um, we know master starts at 35. Um, so maybe like I may stop if I haven't achieved the goals that I wanted to at 35. Um, that may be my end point, you know. But who knows? I'm just letting God lead me. If He says do it, then I'm going to do it. If He says, you know, Ya'Lisha, this is it, you know, let bodybuilding go and just kind of like, you know, teach on the importance of being healthy and maintaining your body weight, then that's what I'm going to do. But I mean, it's a great experience, and it definitely helps out with, you know, my fitness segment training with Ya'Lisha. You know, keeping people engaged with health and fitness, and it gives me some credibility, you know, for when I'm talking about these things, and I'm not just a person that decided to get into fitness yesterday and I'm trying to teach classes. No, I've been through this. I know what it takes, and I'm here to let you know that, you know, if I can do it, then you can do it, you know. I never want to be too high to where I'm not humble, you know, or, you know, what's the saying? Each one teach one. You know,
Yeah,
I don't ever want to be too high to where I can't, you know, where I can't do that, you know. So I think 35 may be the cap for me to get off the stage and, you know, start a family. But really, God's timing, you know, I could be 40 and starting it late in life, which is fine. It's not a problem. But just really on God's timing, whenever that may be, you know. 35 may be the cap though.
yeah. All right, Miss Gatewood. I appreciate you for your time and your patience. Yeah. Hope we can talk again without this kind of craziness. But yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We definitely can. You have my contact information. Just, you know, send me a message whenever you want to, you know, talk. We could talk, you know, other topics about health and fitness. You know, we can
yeah,
talk
yeah.
post-show analysis, you know, post-bodybuilding show analysis. I'm open to that. We can talk sports. I'm only good at basketball and football, though. I don't really know hockey, don't really know baseball.
Yeah, no,
So
that's fine. I mean,
basketball and football, basketball and
I
football
was
are my
saying
things.
basketball. I kind of, I was always playing basketball a bit, but
Yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
well, yeah. So I'm gonna let you go. Yeah, have a good week, and yeah,
Thank you so much, you too. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
all right.